LP4, a little bit more on adjectives today. We're going to look at student book, page 80. And we're looking at people from the planet Mac. People from the planet Mac are called Machians. The aliens called Machians. Okay, so first thing, let's start with some adjectives. So let's go and have a look at number 1 on page 80. Here, look, we've got a snake, and in the snake there are 10 adjectives. And the first one here, look, is weak. And what you've got to do here, look, is on the snake underneath, do the opposite. Okay, so the opposite of weak is strong. If we go along the snake, here we can see the adjective fast. The opposite of fast is slow. Here, look, here's the next adjective, fat. The opposite of fat, of course, would be thin. Okay, so let's see, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 10, I think, adjectives there. Okay, so see if you can put the opposites in there. So that's the first thing. Okay, now, for number 2, we need to look on the whiteboard over here. So let's just remind you of this, okay? So, adjectives are words that tell us about nouns. Most adjectives tell us the colour or the size of something, okay? And there are 3 types of adjectives. The first one is the positive adjective, which is what we use when we're talking about one thing. Then we have comparative adjective, what we use when we're talking about 2 things. And then if we're talking about more than 2 things, we use what is called superlative. And the other word you need to know when we do adjectives is you need to know the word syllable. When we said a syllable is when you say a word, how many parts do you break it into? And we need to know this because how many syllables tells us how we use the comparative or the superlative adjective. So, if we have a 1 word, 1 syllable adjective like tall, then if I'm looking at 2 things, I put ER on the end and than. So taller than, bigger than, smaller than, for 2 things. And if we're talking about more than 2 things, we say the, and we put EST on the end. The tallest, the biggest, the smallest, the fastest, the thinnest. If our positive adjective has 3 or more syllables, words like beautiful or intelligent, then it's different. We say more and the positive adjective and than if it's 2 things. So more beautiful than, more intelligent than. And if it's superlative, we say the most beautiful, the most intelligent. So we don't change the spelling here if it's 3 or more syllables, but we do change the spelling if it's 1 syllable. Now, 2-syllable adjective ending with the letter Y, like happy or heavy or funny, is the same as the 1 syllable, happier than and the happiest. 2-syllable adjectives, well, we'll do more of that later. Sometimes it's like this and this, but most of the time it's there. Okay, so let's go back to page 80 and look at what we've got to do today. Okay, so number 2, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Machians from the planet Mac. Here's their names, kind of strange names. Zoom Off, J8, WE2, Minibyte, H16. Let's listen to what they look like and see if we can put their names into the 5 spaces here.
Welcome to Planet Mac. Please watch this video. It shows the most famous Machians. If you find them, you can ask for an autograph. This is V32. He's very strong. He's the strongest Machian. This is H16. He's very intelligent. He invented the first spaceship, the Zumov. Now, a Zumov isn't very fast. It's the slowest spaceship on the planet. H16 eats all day. He's the fattest inventor on Mac. This is WE2. She's very intelligent. She's the youngest inventor on the planet. WE2 invented the Minibyte. The Minibyte is the lightest computer on Mac. Finally, we have Mrs. J8. She's the oldest Machian. She was born 300 years ago.
Okay, so now we've got the names of these famous Machians. Then let's move on to number 3. And here, look, we've got 5 positive adjectives. Let's look at the pictures. We've got the names of the Machians. So fast, obviously, is going to be this one. Heavy, which one is the picture showing the adjective heavy? Okay, weak. Okay, I think that's probably going to be weak, isn't it? Young, probably there. And thin. So put the 5 adjectives in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5 people. And then we're going to try and do this at the bottom. So let's have a look and let's go back to the whiteboard here, shall we? Okay, so our adjective is weak. Weak is 1 syllable. So for superlative we say the weakest. Okay. The next one, heavy. Heavy. 2 syllables, ends in Y. So it's going to be the heaviest. Okay. The next one, fast. They've done for you, the fastest. Next one, young. Young, 1 syllable. 1 syllable, the youngest. And the last one, thin. Thin, 1 syllable, so we're going to say the thinnest, because we're talking about many, many people, all the people on Mac, not just 2, more than 2, so we have to use the superlative. So there it is. See if you can find the adjectives at the top and do the opposites. Put the names to the people there, and then at the bottom, see if we can use the superlative adjectives, because we're talking about more than 2 things. Not easy, but see how you go.